Are you looking for new ideas for your home YouTube studio on a budget? In this video, I'm going to show you how to take your YouTube studio from this to this, with tips on the gear that I use to get a more professional look in your home YouTube studio that's not going to break the bank. So let's go ahead and take a look. So today what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at 4 categories. First thing we're going to do is we're going to take a look at cameras. Next thing we're going to look at is we're going to look at audio setup. Then after that we're going to take a look at lighting, and last but not least what we'll do is we'll take a quick look at post-production for your YouTube setup, and then we'll have a little bit of an extra at the end to see what kind of extras that you might add to your setup also. Now when I first started off doing my YouTube videos, in the very beginning I basically started with, of all things, my cell phone. One of the best things to film with is what you've got at the moment. So starting off, I just use the phones, and phones have been gotten to a level now where they're absolutely fantastic, especially the likes of the iPhones, the latest versions of them that's after coming out, the 14 I believe. But even other than that, the phone that you have in your pocket is a great way to start off. Strangely enough, my best video so far that's on YouTube has over, I think it's like over 36,000 views at this stage. And I shot that video on my phone. Still the phone, same phone that I have today. I absolutely love it. It's the Huawei P30. And so when I first started off, I got myself a few accessories to work with it. And I shot one of my first videos that I did as a vlog, going to a festival that I went to, and it worked perfectly, you know. So all the audio that you heard from it and the video that was on that was all from the phone, and it just worked absolutely fantastic. So one of your first options and the cheapest option is use the phone that you have in your pocket. That'll just get you started, it'll get your creativity going. Next up, when I upgraded from my phone, I decided that I wanted to have a bit of a better camera setup. So I purchased the Canon M50. It was the first version of the Canon M50. Still a great camera today. A couple of years ago, it was probably one of the best cameras that was out there for doing a home studio setup for YouTube. At the time, I think it ran me about maybe 500 or 600 euros, and that just came with the kit lens at that stage. So as the year and a half has progressed, this is actually the camera that I'm shooting on right now still at the moment. And I just added bits and pieces to it. So I got a small rig camera bracket that I got put on it, which gives it a bit more weight and is better in my hands. You can add different bits and pieces to it. So a lot of the time, the autofocus is absolutely fantastic in it, but you're realistically going to be at 1080p. So you're going to be high definition, but it's still great quality. As you could see, a lot of what I shoot, and I've even shot a music video on the Canon M50 as well. But what I did do when I upgraded, and it's the lens that's actually on here right now because I wanted to go a little bit wider. So the lens that I have on at the moment is the Sigma 16mm 1.8, an absolutely fantastic lens. And that lens I think ran me about 420 euros, something like that, but was definitely well worth it. Another upgrade that I got for it is I got the Canon EF, the 50mm, the Nifty 50, and it was great as well. So the Canon M50, they now have a version 2 of it, but I guess you could pick up the first ones or even the second one anywhere between 500 and 700 euros with a kit lens on it. And you do have the option then to upgrade afterwards, but a fantastic camera for starting off. Also the Sony ZV-10, I believe it's called. A fantastic camera as well. I've seen reports on that in regards to using it for vlogging and stuff like that. So that's going to run you as well about 600-700 euros, something around that. But definitely, if you need to come up from your phone I think that's going to be a great option as well. Now, of course, one of the products that I've been going on about for the last year, and one of the latest products that has come out, of course, is the GoPros, the Heroes. The GoPro Hero Black came out last year, and you know, not just for vlogging, you could use it in this scenario as well. The only thing that you're not going to get is a bit of that bokeh background, you know, a bit of blurring in that. So this is the GoPro Hero 11, and as an example, I'll just put it on here now. So I'm going to put it roughly around the same area. Now I've got it on wide right now, which probably would be too wide. So if I was using it in this scenario, then what I would do is I would change it to linear. So if I just change that to linear, you're going to get a tighter frame that's actually on you, very similar to what we have right now with the Canon M50. So this is the Canon M50 right now, and if I hold out the GoPro Hero 11 in front of me, this is also very similar what you're going to get. But what you will notice is that you don't really have that blurry background. My Canon M50 that I have right now, it has the focusing on my face, which is really great, but it'll have more of a blurrier background, especially when you're up close. You know, it blurs out that background. I think I'm at f2.8 at the moment, which is my preferred one when I actually use it. But yeah, so definitely the likes of this, I believe right now 550 euros that it will cost you for the GoPro Hero 11. But if you do sign up for a subscription, I think you can get it a little bit cheaper at about 450 euros. But definitely an option as well. So the next category up is audio, and believe me, if you've watched videos on YouTube, there's nothing worse than bad audio. Hopefully the audio right now that you're hearing is pretty good because I've got my lapel mic on. So just to give you an idea of the setup that I use, a lot of the time like this, I will use my lapel mic, and I've got a wireless setup that's actually here that I'm using as well. So the wireless setup that I use is very similar to the GoPro, or not the GoPro, is very similar to the Rode wireless setup. So this one is by a company that I used to buy musical equipment from, and it's called Thomann. They're based out of Germany. And this basically is kind of like a copy of the wireless system that Rode has. But I found it fantastic. If you've seen any of my other videos, then the sound ends up really, really good. So the closer you're getting to your source, your speaking voice then is a lot better. So for me, this is a wireless system. It's a single wireless system. So I have the receiver that's on my Canon M50 right now, and then this will just clip onto the side of your hip or your pocket, wherever you want it. And I've got a lapel mic that comes up and is just here. So it's picking up as much of my voice at the moment, even though I'm shooting right now in daytime. I have a lot of natural light coming in, but I've also got a lot of cars that are passing up and down here as well. I don't know if you can hear that too much, but you know, for this shooting environment, the closer then to my sound here, to my speaking voice, it's actually going to be better. So that's one of the first options that, or one of the options that I use now all the time. Prior to that, I was using the Rode Video Micro. So this here is the Rode Video Micro. This is just a dead cat that goes over the top of it. So, well, actually this one is the Rode Video Micro. So you can actually just, yeah, so that's the Rode Video Micro. Another option that I got as well, which is a cheaper option, is pretty much identical. This one is called the Movo, and it's the VXR10. Now, if you were to look at these, they're very, very similar, really, really similar. And strangely enough, I think I found there's a better low end in the Movo one. So I use both of these as an option. So little shotgun mics. Now, what you can also do with these is you can put them on a boom stand and keep them just slightly out of shot. And what that will do then as well is get you close to your source. So I don't have that set up right now at the moment, but if I was to position this just slightly above and go directly into the camera, then you're going to get a really good sound as well. I'll give you an example there now of what they actually sound like when they're on the camera directly. But like I say, you got the Rode Video Micro and you got the Movo VXR10. So both of these are great options. The Movo one, the VXR10, comes in, I think, about 35 euros or something, which is really good value. But the Rode is going to be about twice that price, at about, you know, 55, 60 euros, something like that. But they're a great option if they're going to be up close to you when you have your camera on. So I'll give you an idea of that now. Okay, so this is the Rode Video Micro that's now positioned on the top of the camera and it's pointing directly at me. I'm probably about maybe 2 feet, 2.5 feet, maybe 3 at the max away from the camera. And this is what it sounds like. So I do prefer myself, you're probably picking up other ambient noise that's in the room, and you may possibly even hear the traffic outside now, which is why I prefer using the lapel mic with the wireless system, and it's, you know, it's absolutely well worth it. So this now at the moment is the Rode Video Micro with just mounted straight into the camera. So the wireless system that I am actually using at the moment is called the T-Bone Sync 1. I'm not sure exactly what the price is in that. I put it up on the screen here, but that's the wireless system that I got from Thomann in Germany. And if you're in around Europe, I think it's really good value. If you do want to step up again from that, and like I say, one of the shotgun mics, which is a shorter shotgun mic, is the Rode NTG2. Now again, that's way more expensive. You're starting to go up in price there, and Rode have a lot of more expensive ones. They're up like 250 euros around that. Sound, at the end of the day, they say sound is 50% of your video, and it really, really is, because if you've got a bad sound, you know, nobody wants to watch the video. It's just, you're going to lose people really quickly. As an example, I'll give you an example right now as to what really bad sound is going to be like, and see how long it would take it to keep listening to this. Okay, so I'm speaking a little bit louder already, but I have unplugged my wireless system, and this now is just the onboard audio that's coming directly from the camera. Now, the onboard audio on GoPros is actually quite decent, but this is going to be absolutely terrible. I know it is, I know it is. So imagine if you were watching a video like this, you're going to switch off fairly quickly. So no, this ain't happening. Okay, so one of the most natural and cheapest ways to light up your scene is to use natural light. So I've got a big window here in front of me, and a lot of natural light that's actually coming in. So I've set it up at an angle so that just hopefully on one side that is getting most of the light, so a little bit shaded on the right hand side. Obviously you can only do it in the daytime, so once nighttime comes in, you're not going to have that option. But if you're doing some daytime shooting, absolutely perfect. First option that I went with when I first wanted to upgrade my lighting system is I just went on Amazon and I got one of these. They're fairly generic, very standard soft boxes. So this one was by Adobe, but from what I believe is they're all branded. I believe Newer, some other people like that, they do them as well. So the one I got actually came in a 2-pack. So this is just one of them here. So basically what it came with was the stand. It came with the soft box itself, and then just here on the inside what you have is you just have a standard bulb. So the bulb that's actually in there is set at 55,000 Kelvin. What you can do then at that stage is basically set your white balance to 5500, or 5500, not 55,000. Very basic and simple. I believe you could pick up 2 of these for roughly about 60 to about 80, 100 euros, which is really good value. So you're going to get 2 stands, you're going to get 2 of the soft boxes, you're going to get a bag, and you're going to get 2 of the bulbs as well, which are easily replaced if you need those. They're, I believe, E27 bulbs is actually what they are. These have done me for all of my shoots that I've done, any headshots and stuff like that, even photography as well. They've done me over the last year. They've been absolutely perfect. So 2 stands, 2 of the soft boxes, perfect for getting you started. So you can use one as your key light, and you could put the other one behind you that's going to light up as a hair light or something like that in the background if you want. These are two that I use all the time, definitely as the most budget friendly setup that you can go with. Now another great option for some lighting is a little bit of portable lighting. I picked up one of these. It's like a tube light, Luxio it's called. So these are very handy. About 60 euros is what I paid for this. So it's handy for using it for B-roll and stuff like that. It can be turned on and used behind you as a hair light where you wouldn't actually see it. Sometimes you might actually see me, and when it's darker at night, I will use it as a bit of mood lighting that's in behind. So as you can see here, you have different colors. You're not going to see it as much now today, green, blue. So it's very handy then basically to use this for B-roll and stuff like that. But a very handy light. It's, like I say, it's only 60 euros for it. Rechargeable battery in it, and it's coming very, very handy. Really good product. Now on the higher end of the scale, if you wanted to go into a much more professional setup, the mid-range would be something like the Godox. They do an SL60, it's a 60 watt. So if you couple that up, we say, with the likes of a newer softbox, it's going to run you probably around 220, something like that. So a good decent Globe softbox and the Godox SL60 will give you a better setup. And then of course once you go up another level again, all the professionals out there at the moment, they're using aperture lighting. So a lot of what you will see is they have the aperture D120s, I think they are, so they're 120 watts. You know, you can dim them, fantastic lights. But again, they're way more expensive. They're going to start running you anywhere between 700-800 euros up to 1,200, 1,500 euros for that expensive lighting. So once you've put together your video and once you've gotten together your fantastic audio, you've got your lighting sorted out and you're all ready to go, then what do you do afterwards? Well, one of the first things that you got to do is you got to edit it all and put it together. So there's a couple of options that you have there. So one of the first options will be, if you've got a Mac, to use the likes of iMovie. The first option that I went with when I first started doing videos is I went with the Adobe package. So I started doing a lot of my edits in Adobe Premiere Pro, and was fantastic. But I've got a bit of a slower computer, so a lot of the times with 4K and stuff like that, it was grinding down, it was getting slower and slower. So recently I discovered DaVinci Resolve. Now DaVinci Resolve, the basic package, is actually free, and I have to say, since I changed over to it, my workflow, everything else to do color grading and stuff is absolutely fantastic. It's definitely worth getting and looking at that. And from what I believe, if you need to upgrade it to the professional version, it's only about 300, 350 euros, something like that. So folks, hopefully you got something from this video. If you haven't subscribed to the channel already, I'm pushing for the 1,000 subscribers, so make sure that you hit that subscribe button, and make sure in the comment section that you say I'm subscribed, and I'll try to reply to as many of those as I can. And also, if you did get something from this video, please make sure you hit that like button, and it's going to help to push it out to the algorithm and get more people to see it. So like I say folks, if you haven't started recording yet, then the best way to get your YouTube channel going is just record a video. Start recording your videos. Every video, I can guarantee you, is a learning process, and the more you do, then the more you're going to learn. And make sure you just go out and hit that record button. So have an absolutely fantastic day folks. I hope to see you all in the next video, and take care of yourselves and have a wonderful day.